Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and Happy New Year to all of you viewers out there. Welcome back to Red-Rupee Cast. We've got another game here featuring none other than Dawn of War 2 Retribution. Before we get the game started here, I wanted to announce a couple things real quick. First, those of you that missed it, I had an end-of-year one-on-one little double elimination tournament there at the end of the year. It was Friday the 30th of December for anyone that missed it. The top three players were in third place, Accra, in second place, Vindicare X, and in first place, none other than Holy Hammer, who just took the whole tournament by storm and ran home with it pretty much. So two NID players in the top three there. That was pretty cool. For anyone that missed the live stream, of course, I've gone ahead and posted up most of the vids of all the games that I casted live throughout the day. I had a few co-casters hop in and out with me in St. John, Borograd. We had Decepticats, which was very cool, and Wurgle stuck with me through the very end of the tournament, so thanks a lot to all of them helping me save my voice a little bit through that long day. And as far as the videos go check those out. The audio and video isn't quite up to my normal quality. It is just recordings of the live stream as we played it, so pardon me for that. Some of the audio might be a little out of sync. And before I go any further, I will be gone for the next week or so. I will be helping run the convention MagFest, which happens over here in the USA on the East Coast, just outside of Washington, D.C. MagFest is the music and gaming festival, so I will be MIA for about a week, so I'm leaving you one last cast here to hold you guys over, and all those tournament casts, of course, as well. And anyone that's on the East Coast of the U.S., anywhere near D.C., I urge you to check out MagFest. It's pretty much the greatest thing ever. It's music, gaming, we have LAN parties, and consoles, and a huge arcade with hundreds of cabs, and just everything you can think of involving the gaming, pretty much the gaming culture as a whole. Nobuo Uematsu, if you're familiar with him, will be there with his band, the Earthbound Papas, performing, and just all kinds of awesome stuff. So anyways, that's one of my many extracurricular activities that I partake in. So let's go ahead and get a look at this game. Since I just uploaded all those dozens, literally, of one-on-one games, I figured we'd finish things out here with a nice, big, fun, happy 3-on-3 game. And we're on Sicker's Plateau here. I kind of found this tank off in the corner. Kind of lonely little tank here, surrounded by kind of a double ring of torches here. Kind of like it was left as a sacrifice or something to maybe the map maker, whoever put this map together. Sacrificed that tank up in the corner. So let's get a look at our players. On the red team, we have GodofAllNames as our mech boy, and then we have SizweBansi as our Lord General, and lastly we have Bandit as the Farseer with the Eldar army, and on the blue side we've got Kiss My Ass, an appropriate name for a big mean Chaos Lord, AngryBird as a mech boy as well, and Mr. SparkleLuv as our Lord General. So two equal there. We have the mech boy and Lord General on either side, and we're just going to go ahead and get this match started. Sicker's Plateau, if you guys aren't familiar, is a pretty big map. We've got the contested VP down here, and then sort of up on the top side, way in this area, we've got the natural VP for either side up here. And then all kinds of resources kind of up here right together. We've got 4 rec points, 1, 2, 3, 4, and a power node. And then in the middle, we've got another kind of contested power and a couple rec points. Natural powers on either side, up here in the north, and then down in the south for either side. So as we can see now, both sides kind of moving out, grabbing their natural power. And we've actually got a kind of an interesting push here in the middle. We've got all 3 heroes pushing into the middle against the mech boy. Kind of an interesting strategy. It allows you to use your heroes together in kind of a big nasty pile and use your various capping squads to take the rest of the map. Of course, this highly depends on your teammates' ability to micro and keep track of 2 points on the map at the same time, because you don't want them to be paying attention to their hero and then lose one of their capping squads up in the center. And now we're just hitting a minute into the game, and it looks like we're coming upon a pretty big firefight in the middle here. And that's what I love about Dawn of War. As soon as you get started into the game, it's just straight into the action, especially with these team games. And we just have lots of ranged firepower on either side here. You can see the mech boys set up a little wog banner, kind of hidden behind that cover on that side, ready to go ahead and frazzle anything that comes close. Meanwhile, the blue team's mech boy and shooters have taken refuge inside of this garrison, and the sentinels going way too close to that ranged power. I'm not sure. Oh, there goes the Frazzle. I thought it was going to get away, but as we can see, that Sentinel's in a lot of trouble right now. It is not getting out of there and goes down already. Very unfortunate for the Bright Pink Imperial Guard squad over here. And now a couple melee squads moving in on this ranged blob, and they really haven't been able to do much damage to that on approach at all. So I think they're just going to have to get the heck out of there. A grenade going down, but not quite hitting its mark. And just tons of action already, actually, going down here. Mech Boy teleporting out of the way, but kind of right into the marching range of that melee pile, and it looks like he's not going to get out of there if those Sluggas turn around and finish him off, but I'm not sure they're going to. Oh, there they go at the last second, getting a couple swings, and he still gets through. That was pretty amazing, my goodness. So it looks like, actually, Red kind of went all in on that triple push in the middle there and ultimately lost. And Blue Team is going to be able to take a pretty heavy advantage of that, and as you can see, the whole map's just turning blue right now. Red has a bit of a power advantage as they filled up both of their power farms already, but they are definitely in danger of losing them. Blue Team's just now starting to get the power onto the field, but it looks like they're going to be working on the triple cap very early at this stage in the game. We can see the blue Mech Boy's gotten himself some electric armor to kind of help scare off all the guardsman squads that are going to be over here, and we can see pretty basic build orders. SizweBansi lost that Sentinel, so did Mr. SparkleLuv, and bringing Catechins on the field right now for Sizwe. So down on the bottom side, we see the battle for the power continue. Oh, a nice looking grenade, shredding those heretics. Oh, and he does go, the last member goes down to that Farseer. I kind of thought those Guardians pretty much grenaded themselves right, but that was spot on and destroyed that heretic squad with not much issue. Unfortunately, Red Team really needs to get back out onto the field. These Rangers are running away from these Chaos Marines, which are in turn running away from the Farseer. But as you can see, just looking at the mini-map right now, the Blue Team just has everything except for those two power nodes. If the Red Team manages to hold on to those, they can certainly make a counter push at this point. Oh, and it looks like the Chaos Lord goes down here, stayed in a bit too long, and he's laying there right next to his Mech Boy buddy, unfortunately. And they're going to have to wait for the Lord General to come pick them up at some point if they want to not be at the disadvantage for that wreck. So meanwhile, we have some Chaos Marines up here kind of on their own. They may win that melee brawl, but I don't think they'll be able to stand up to the firepower of those two Shuda squads as well. So they do have to get out of there. So right now, Red has made an excellent counter push. Blue, I think, should have maybe fallen back a little earlier after they made that great push in the Red territory, because now it looks like it's actually Blue Team that's going to lose their power. You can see Red held on to this top farm pretty well. Lost their bottom one, though. And now these two Guardian squads I don't think are going to be able to stand up to the Guardsmen, and the Lord General, of course, with that grenade launcher is going to make short work of that very light infantry right there. The Farseer is going to try to intervene with that, of course, and scare him off. And meanwhile, it looks like the Met Boy jumped in with some electric armor over here to defend that power farm. They lost a couple gens, but it looks like they're rebuilding them. And these Guardsmen are very low health, just barely managing to get out of there with a couple members of 30 HP. Triple big shooters right now for AngryBird, looking pretty nasty there, and triple Chaos Space Marines for Kiss My Ass. SparkleLuv not choosing to get anything else at this point and just rolling straight into Tier 2 ahead of everybody. And GodofAllNames not far behind. Bandit sticking with the two Guardians and the Rangers we've seen here, but the Rangers unfortunately seem to have not been able to get too many shots in here as they've been constantly getting chased around. All the heroes looking pretty vanilla so far. Grenade launchers on both the Lord Generals and electric armor on both of the Mech Boys. So kind of mirror images right there for both the blue and red teams as far as war gear. Mech Boy finding himself under a nasty barrage of fire between three CSM squads and the Mech Boy with the big shooter. And he finds himself having to get out of there pretty much right away. So a couple squads of big shooters moving in, three squads actually. This is just a huge, nasty pile of ranged. Wow, that is just hurtful to see. Meanwhile, on the bottom side of the map, we have a couple Guardian squads setting up behind energy shields, trying to take out this this gen farm down here. But ultimately, I don't think they're going to be able to do that with that Lord General once again firing those grenades into there. Catachin's in a lot of trouble down here as I come back up to this main power, and it looks like the Lord General is going to go down as well. That's way too much range power, and there he goes. Oh my goodness. Even on retreat, you could just see the massive damage he was taking from these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 squads of heavy range damage right now. You can see the final squad of CSMs up top taking that ban, and it's looking pretty rough for the red team right now. They've just been getting hammered. A little back and forth has been going on down bottom, but now they realize they really need to get here and defend this power node. None of the shooters for the red team's mech boy have been upgraded to big shooters. Oh, and some excellent electric armor. Look at him just trashing those squads of shooters. One of them might actually go down, and it does. That's one squad of shooters down there. And you can see those sluggers actually did some pretty nice damage to those heretics, but under fire from both of those CSM squads, they had to get out of there. So the Chaos Lord once again gets forced off by that Farseer, and the last two players now trucking into Tier 3. GodofAllNames, you can see, has gotten himself a squad of stick bombers, and I think that's exactly what they need, some nice orky artillery to deal with all these range squads. There goes the first volley of grenades, not quite hitting on point, but doing some pretty reasonable damage and taking out a model of those CSM. So it looks like they will be able to handle this. Those stick bombers may actually deal some pretty reasonable damage, especially with a couple knockdown attacks. I think they're going to have to get out of there, though. Meanwhile, down bottom, we see some fully upgraded guardsmen, even with plasma rifles already. I think that was kind of questionable, considering there's no real heavy infantry on the field yet. That's 50 power and 200 wreck that may have gone to something a little bit more useful at this point in the game. And AngryBird bringing on a Weird Boy, while Bandit pulls a Falcon onto the field. An excellent retreat grenade by those Guardians, taking out several guardsmen. But the red team just not being able to hold map too well this game. Both sides have been pushing in really hard. Oh, and some electric armor again from the opposing mech boy, taking out a squad as well. That was retribution for that squad of shooters that went down earlier to the red team's mech boy, using the electric armor to his own purposes. So a nice looking old reliable happening from those Catachans. It looks like that mech boy actually had a nice angle shooting around that energy shield, though, unfortunately. We can see some assault kit stormtroopers on the field now. Going to make short work of those Catachans. Oh, and you see a couple more fall to the grenades of the Lord General. My goodness. Looking up top, it looks like the CSM are still reigning supreme with that Chaos Lord and the one squad of heretics. That's just a big, tough pile to deal with right now. We have some sluggers taking out some central power here. Blue's got a pretty solid power advantage right now, I feel. Ogren's coming on the field for Sizwe, and Warp Spiders as well. A Falcon on the field now for Bandit, going to be able to push up here. Since those Stormtroopers have already invested in their assault kit, they're going to be hard-pressed to deal with this Falcon right now. The Weird Boy, of course, can do some pretty reasonable damage with his range attack, but it doesn't look like he's quite paying attention right now. The red team really needs to make a point to get some infantry squads up near to support this Falcon and get some reinforcements going on the field here. As the mech boy looks like he's upgrading to the beamy def gun right now and hopping into that garrison, which will make it pretty dangerous in general for this Falcon to hang out. Oh, we see a creeping barrage happening right now on that garrison, and just knocking that mech boy all over the place. One more shot knocking him down. It looks like he won't be able to put that beamy def gun to use right now, and he's just going to have to get out of there, especially with Ogrins in pursuit. They might actually take him out, but it looks like he's just barely going to escape. Meanwhile, we have two melee squads. Two of those CSM got upgraded to Corn Marines, and now making short work of that very fragile Orky truck. And you can see the final squad got upgraded to the Mark of Sinch, which makes it a very heavy anti-infantry range squad. Nice dodge of Kill the Weak there with those Slugger boys, now trying to get in position to get some melee kills. The Guardians also following suit, trying to get a couple of retreat grenades here. Looks like they didn't quite commit to it and fell back there. In the meantime, we have the Lord General upgraded to his melter gun, trying to scare this Falcon off the map. And some shooter boys as well coming in with the Weird Boy. Refractor field triggered. and they're going to cause some pretty heavy damage to these Guardians right now. You can see the red team is just suffering right now for VPs, though, as there's a triple cap still in blue's favor. Looks like, oh my goodness, I'm not even sure who's going to win this battle right here. There's just so much range damage, though, from the blue team that it's just very difficult to get in on. A nice looking over there, knocking all those range squads back and kind of isolating the Lord General and the Weird Boy. Although a nice looking shot from that Weird Boy, hurting these Catechins pretty harshly. Nice use of Smoke Bomb. Could have used that a little further up to help these Ogrins get in on that range damage. These Warp Spiders really need to get in and do something about this truck. If they can get off a Haywire Grenade, those Ogrins and the Falcon can make very short work of it. But I'm not sure if they're quite going to get it. Oh, here, as I say that, of course, they proved me wrong. Here comes the Haywire Grenade, but the Mech Boy teleported in with the Beamy Def Gun and finished off that low HP Falcon. The Ogrins now trying to get in on this truck. You can see Cult of Speed being used. It may just get away. I think the Warp Spire Haywires are going to finish just in time. Oh, but just as it wears off, it goes out of control, drops some squads right in front of the Ogrins for them to just beat on retreat. And it looks like that Weird Boy's actually in a bit of trouble there. Oh, and he splats! Oh, decimating both of those squads right there. They might actually lose a second squad. Oh my goodness. Excellent play there by the red team, causing some pretty severe damage. Unfortunately, the blue team's already tier 3. Red isn't too far behind, but they really need to focus on map control at this point in the game. Oh no, and the Catechins go down to all that range firepower. You can see they used a buff there and just came in and wrecked them. Oh my goodness, that creeping barrage was just a second too late. I really don't think the red team should focus on trying to bash power right now and really just need to focus on holding the map wherever they can. They need to hold 2 VPs pretty much indefinitely at this point. When it gets to this stage in the game for me on Sickers Plateau, I normally try to instruct my team to just go ahead and go triple top here and just hold these top 2 VPs and maybe send a couple harassing squads down bottom when they can. But at this point, when you're down by about 200 VPs, you really got to focus on at least keeping those 2 VPs in check. Meanwhile, Kiss My Ass going ahead and bringing the Great Unclean One, summoning him onto the field of battle. So in a couple minutes, I'm sure we'll be seeing him stomp around and causing all kinds of havoc. So while it's still anyone's game, both players are doing pretty well. Sizwe kind of not holding on to too many squads there. Unfortunately, he has both of his tier 2 squads now pushing into tier 3, but he might want to get an additional squad at this point. And instead of that, really, and just try to hold some maps. Bandit also bringing a Fire Prism onto the field, which of course will make holding the VPs a lot easier with that constant knockdown. Looks like Sizwe's Lord General finding himself in a bit of a predicament, but Ogren's now moving in. Nice little med pack usage there. But oh no, that Orc truck is full of 2 big shooters and a Weird Boy. And a nice looking Warp Bomb at the last second there, scaring off those Ogrins. So up top it looks like there's just a giant pile. Let's see. Oh man, just all kinds of stuff happening up here. That Mech Boy teleported in with the electric armor, but he may have been a bit overzealous there. Slug is moving in to intercept the retreat path, and down he goes. He was trying to take out these Warp Spiders, Shooters, and Guardians, but couldn't quite do it. Stick Bomb is popping out, and a nice looking set of Stick Bombers. Let's see if he responds in time. He does just barely get into that truck just in time. And it looks like a heavy turret is plopping down right in the middle of battle. I'm not sure that's the best place. Oh, especially with 3 squads of heavy melee coming in here. Or rather, power melee, I believe those are, not heavy melee. But I think that was just unfortunate timing. Oh, a little bit of friendly fire from that Weird Boy, knocking those melee squads all around. And that Mech Boy getting a little too close in, I think, with all that melee right there. But oh, nice set of Stick Bombs. Oh my goodness, a whole squad of Corn Marines gone. And wow, excellent play there by GodofAllNames. Meanwhile, though, Weird Boy is kind of hanging out in this garrison, trying to hide from that Fire Prism right now. And the Guo, of course, has been stomping around on the field, stabbing away at whatever he can get his big cleaver on right there. Oh my gosh, just tossing stormtroopers all over the place. We can see, oh, nice use of Time Field, but unfortunately those Meltas stray a bit too close, trying to get some Meltas shots in. And GodofAllNames now bringing some nasty looking knobs onto the field. They are fully upgraded and ready to go. Combined with those Ogrins are probably going to make short work of that great unclean one. He needs to be very careful with that. Meanwhile, on the lower part of the map here, we've got a lot of range units coming in, but Stick Bomb is once again on the field. Excellent spread on those sticks. Look at it just tear into those guardsmen. Oh my goodness, unfortunately, it looks like those stormtroopers went down in the meantime. Meanwhile, up top here, we have the Ogrins and Knobs, Lord General and Fire Prism all chasing down this great unclean one. I don't think he's going to get out of there. He's trying his darndest to get the heck around some cover and find a way out of there. But oh man, and some excellent use of worship right there at the end is probably going to save him. Fire Prism gets one parting shot in there, but I don't think those Ogrins are going to be finishing it off. And now that Fire Prism's in a little bit of trouble with the Corn Marines on it as well. And that Guo just barely gets out of there. And of course, Mr. SparkleLuv hasn't bumped too much in Tier 2, so he went straight for a Baneblade. They had the map advantage, so there was no reason to try to force themselves a heavy Tier 2. And they just went for straight Tier 3, and got some big nasty stuff onto the field. GodofAllNames has really been running the map for the red team and keeping them in the game. Looks like they're on the verge of getting themselves a little triple cap of their own, and bringing the game back to the blue team in general. So this Weird Boy has been proving invaluable right now for the blue team, knocking around all these range squads. The Stick Bombers found themselves a bit out of position there, and with that Melta Lord General, that truck had to get out of there. Little did it know that he was switching to his sniper rifle at that very moment.
We have 200 points.
So the red team's setting up a little warp gate up there, trying to get back up to that VP as quickly as possible. Another one, of course, popping up in their base. And the Fire Prism just firing away here at that power. I really think that needs to get up to one of the VPs and just kind of try to defend that wherever possible. Of course, we have AngryBird, the last player, now pushing into Tier 3. Still a vanilla Chaos Lord here at this point in the game, despite Kiss My Ass having what appears to be lots of resource. But man, this has just been an action-packed game so far. Kind of a little calm before the storm. This is probably Red's last chance to push onto the VPs. You can see the Baneblade and a bunker being dropped here. Probably be upgraded to a repair bunker. But no support. Normally you see a heavy weapons team or something get put in there to support that Baneblade in these threes games. So a couple squads popping out of this warp gate up top, and I think it looks like Red Team's just going all in for the push on this top left VP here. This is their last chance to bring the game in, and unfortunately that Lord General finding himself a bit out of position. I don't think he's going to be able to get the decap on that, but tons of melee coming out of that orc truck here, surprising these range squads. And oh man, there goes the super tough beam on the knobs, and that Chaos Lord's trying to scare everything off. Here goes, oh, let the galaxy burn, falling right in top of all of that. The Weird Boy took out the orc truck, but the knob's still hammering away at that great unclean one. I really don't think they need to focus on that right now. There's more threats at hand. Oh no, but lots of stuff goes down. An excellent flank by the Lord General, Mr. SparkleLuv here, coming up behind a lot of those red forces. And that may be it for the red team. They got the VP cap, but they lost quite a bit there from that heavy range pile that just came out of nowhere. Oh, nice looking rocks. Oh, combined with a time field from the red team, hitting all kinds of stuff. That truck looks like it's trying to get out of there. Oh, but one last rock falls on it and takes it out. Oh my goodness, an excellent last play for the red team, but is it going to be enough? The Guo now kind of hanging out here. An altar drop coming down on top of this. Oh my goodness. One member remains. Oh, and the altar turns and fights the Guo instead of taking out that aspiring champion for the Chaos Heretics. Wow. Red team really trying to put on the fight as much as they can at this last few moments of the game. Unfortunately, I just don't think they're going to be able to get this VP pack if they let it capture right here. The Mega Rumbler now is on the field for the Mech Boy, but I don't think he can quite take it out. Oh, it looks like we've got another creeping barrage, but the blue team has gone ahead and moved over to all three of their heroes to capture the right side VP, and I think that's going to be it for the red team. Wow. You can see they're trying to get a little ninja cap in here, but there is quite a hell of a tank down here. waiting for the very opportunity to fire off its main guns. Oh, a heavy weapons team did move into that at the last second there. Oh, and there goes the Demolisher Cannon, finishing off that Autark. That's it for her. The last few bits of the VPs kind of fallen off here. You can see AngryBird even dropped the rocks here to deter that Farseer from finishing off the capture there. And there goes the last couple points. Oh, and in the last second we see AngryBird's mech boy fall to that avatar. But it was in the name of victory all in all. So wow, that was just a constant barrage from both sides happening there. Pretty much just back and forth all game. Red team actually made a heck of a push there at the end, but an excellent flank by SparkleLuv with his giant ranged blob. You can see level 3 guardsmen and stormtroopers all fully upgraded, and of course with the support of the Lord General himself, made short work of GodofAllNames shooters and support units there. So wow, excellent game. That'll be it for me. I'll see you guys next week. I'm heading out to MagFest. This is Red-Rupee signing off. I'll catch you guys next time.